Day by Day Kids Bible, Day 212. If I Die. Esther 4. Now Mordecai heard about the law, so he tore his clothes. He put on clothes made of old sackcloth. He went through the city crying, but he could only go up to the king's gate. That's because nobody wearing sackcloth could go in. Jews all over the land were crying. Many of them wore clothes made of old sackcloth. They were going without food. Esther's maid told her what Mordecai was doing. Esther was upset. She sent other clothes for him to wear, but he wouldn't wear them. So Esther called for one of her helpers. She asked him to find out what the trouble was. Esther's helper found out. He told Esther that Mordecai wanted her to talk to the king. Then Esther sent another message to Mordecai. I can't go see the king about this. Everyone knows that you can't choose when to see the king. The king has to ask you to come. If you go without being asked, you'll be killed. There's only one way to go in if you aren't asked. That's if the king holds out his gold rod to you. But it's been 30 days since the king asked me to come. Mordecai sent a message back to Esther. Don't think you're safe just because you live in the palace. If you're quiet, our people will be saved some other way, but you and your family will die. But who knows? Maybe the reason you became queen is so you can help our people now. Esther sent a message back to Mordecai. Get all the Jews in Susa together. Go without food for me. Don't eat or drink for 3 days. I'll go without food too. My mates will go without food. After 3 days, I'll go to the king. I'll go even if he hasn't called me. Then if I die, I die. So Mordecai did what Esther asked. Haman brags. Esther 5. After 3 days, Esther put on the robes she wore as queen. She went to the inside hall of the palace. It was in front of the king's hall. The king was sitting on his throne. He was facing the door to the hall. He saw Queen Esther standing there. He was glad to see her. He held out his gold rod. Esther walked up and touched the end of the gold rod. What do you want, Queen Esther? Asked the king. I'll give you whatever you want. I'll even give you half of my kingdom if you want. I have made a great dinner, said Esther. Please come to my dinner. Bring Haman with you. So King called out, Bring Haman right away. We will do what Esther asks. So the king and Haman went to Esther's dinner. They drank wine. Then the king asked Esther, What would you like to have? I'll give it to you. I'll even give you half of my kingdom if you want. Here's what I want, said Esther. If you like me, come to the dinner again tomorrow. Bring Haman with you. Then I'll answer your question. Haman left very happy, but then he saw Mordecai. He saw that Mordecai didn't stand up when he passed. He also saw that Mordecai wasn't afraid of him. So he got very angry, but he controlled himself. He went home. Then Haman called his friends and his wife. He bragged about his riches. He bragged about how many sons he had. He bragged about how the king had made him great. He bragged about how important he was. That's not all, said Haman. The queen asked the king to come to dinner. I'm the only other person she invited. She wants me to come with the king again tomorrow. But I can't really be happy about this, said Haman. Not as long as Mordecai sits at the king's gate. Haman's wife and friends said, Set up a hanging pole. Make it 75 feet high. Tomorrow morning, ask the king to hang Mordecai on it. Then you can go to dinner with the king, and you can be happy. Haman liked this idea, so he had the pole set up. The King's Book, Esther 6. That night the king couldn't sleep, so he told his servant to bring in his book. It was the story of what had happened since he became king. He asked his servant to read to him. The servant read about 2 guards. He read about their plan to kill the king. He read about how Mordecai had found out. He had told the king about it. What did we do to thank Mordecai? Asked the king. Nothing, said his servants. Who is out in the hall right now? Asked the king. Now Haman had just come into the hall. He was going to talk to the king about hanging Mordecai. Haman is in the hall, said the servants. Bring Haman in, said the king. So Haman came in. There's a man I want to thank, said the king. What should I do to make him great? Haman thought, who would the king want to thank? Me! So Haman said, bring one of your robes, bring one of your horses. Choose a leader to put your robe on this man. Then the leader will lead the man on your horse. They'll go through the streets. The leader will shout. He will say that the king gladly makes this man great. Go right away, said the king. Get the robe and the horse. I want you to do this for Mordecai. He sits at my gate. Do everything you said. So Haman had to get the robe and the horse. He put the robe on Mordecai. Then he led Mordecai on the horse through the streets. He had to call, the king gladly makes this man great. After that, Mordecai went back to the king's gate. But Haman ran home. He was very upset and sad. He told his wife and friends what had happened. They said, you can't work against Mordecai. You'll just have trouble. They were still talking about this when the servants came. They were there to take Haman to Esther's dinner.